I'll say one thing about A Carpenter's Prayer, comparing this budget to the firing squad, right? I'm pretty sure it's probably the same-ish budget, but at least one movie, A Carpenter's Prayer, knows how to utilize its budget. Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon reviewing A Carpenter's Prayer. So what's about? Pretty similar premise. We're in 1970s Michigan, and we're in a community where there's 4 churches that are trying to combine into one and also have a school. Trying to, I guess, I want to say monopolize it, but maybe monopolize the churches. I don't know. But anyway, they are down $50K because one church is like, nah, we don't want this no more. We're dipping out. And then there's a guy that comes into play, Glenn Frank, who is a drunk. And he's trying to be on the up and up, but can he be on the up and up without lying, without going into the alcoholism, and can he actually help, build this church? So did I like this film? It was an enjoyable experience. Yes, there are some glaring flaws when it comes to religion that was talked about in this movie, but let's just talk about this through in and throughout. So the movie itself, it's a good message about redemption and who is praying for who and who needs who in their life. And what I mean by that is, you kind of have these people that are, do good all their life, that are, have had a nice, chill life, and they think they need to pray for other people and not the other way around because they think they're kind of, I want to say better, but they think they're well off. And it's almost the vice versa, where it's like sometimes you need to see the people struggling to make your life better, to realize your flaws. And I do think this movie discusses that in a very well manner. I think the acting overall is pretty good. The kid actors, you could say some of them are a little new at it, sure, but it wasn't glaring flaw in my opinion. The adult actors were fine. And I just think the movie is a small enough budget and a small enough, scale of a movie that it works. Like I said, you can compare it to The Firing Squad where it had like an over-ambitious message. This one, it knew its budget and it knew how to do it correct with all of the characters involved. So I really dug that. I dug, like I said, the messaging of the story. Who needs who needs saving, and everything like that. And just, is it okay to tell a lie? What are the white lies? Like, they do have these dilemmas in this movie where you're like, okay, I understand it. And there is some backstory to this where you're like, okay, especially with Stephen Baldwin's character and the Glenn Frank's character, where it's about a fire, which I do wish it kind of went a little bit deeper into that. Of course, they talk about it, like why, this Glenn Frank character is kind of has alcohol problems because of what happened in the past, which I understand that. But it felt, I want to say forced, but I wish Stephen Baldwin's character had a little bit more of an arc, and that just wasn't in the movie how I want it to be. Like I said, the technical crafts, I didn't mind it because, like I said, I appreciate this movie for what it did with its budget, and it knew what it had to do. It wasn't overambitious. Yes, did it look like, they're in a small field trying to make a small church compared to like, what they're making versus you see the real church. You're like, okay, you could tell. You could just tell about the budget and throughout. I do like at the very end, like when they have these true stories where it actually talks about each character. So I really get upset where it's like based on a true story, based on an event. And it's like, okay, how am I supposed to believe you? At least this one, it deep dives into these characters, when they died, what they're doing in life, and the actual church they built. So, like I said, showing that puts me into like, okay, there at least is some credibility to the story. My flaw with a lot of these movies and a lot of mega churches and a lot of people that go to church is I feel like a lot of people that go to church every Sunday, I'm not saying everyone does this, but they feel like they're better than everyone else and they treat people like crap because they go to church. And they feel like, okay, since I am going to church, God's going to forgive me more and more and more. That's not the case. And they feel like they could just be snooty or think they have a nose up to other people. And I think that's completely, completely wrong in my opinion. It just makes me feel dirty. Also, this movie is about, praying for what you want. This little kid always wants a guitar. And of course, his prayer book changes of like who he's trying to pray for. And I really did dig that part of the story. However, I do think the pastor character, there was one scene I really hated in real life as well, where someone would be like, oh, hi, my name is Chase. They're like, it's Dr. Chase you. And he goes, it's pastor. And I'm like, is it the right time? Like, at a point, it's like, it's like, okay, cool. just that's not if you want to step on the right footing with someone, that's not the right way to do it. So that bugged me. Also, who you're praying for, what you're praying for. So the pastor's really praying for to get this $50K and to get the church built. That just feels greedy to me, okay? Because if you are praying for $50K to get a bigger church where you already have a church, I get dirty because there's children with cancer, there's adults with cancer, there's paraplegics in the world, there is so much worse in the world. There's homelessness, there's vet homelessness, there's amputees, there's just so much worse in the world where I think like prayers need to go to. And so when this movie main pastors like pray for God to help us make this church, it rubbed me the wrong way. It did. And it's just my personal preference what I see. Because also when you go to these mega churches, most people going in these mega churches kind of have money to donate to the churches, or, they have nice clothes, etc., etc. Especially when you see like preachers saying like, oh, give me money to buy Gucci. Like that was a true thing as well. That's baffling to me. But none of these pastors go out to the streets and actually help the homelessness. Because when I was in Texas, like I was at a Humane Society donating for like 6 hours. And that's a good thing for like churches to go help. But they won't do that. They won't help the homelessness on the streets. Yes, they can say it's dangerous. But at a point, who actually needs the prayers and who actually needs saving? Is it the actual people going inside the church? Or is it the people embarrassed to go in the church because how they look and feel? So that is just how I think about it overall. And there's also other things where it's like, if people read the Bible and you have like, I hate to say it, men in the church, I know it's patriarch, but like saying one thing's like, suicides and cremations. There are things where it's like, who are we to judge people? Like, so yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that levels. But overall, Carpenter's Prayer, it is a well-crafted movie, in my opinion, for the budget. It has a nice little message about, who needs saving, who needs help. Is it you? Is it your neighbor? Things like that. However, I don't know if it's the messaging of the movie, but a lot of it kind of rubbed me the wrong way for who are you actually praying for, and is it actually the right thing to pray for? So A Carpenter's Prayer will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futon. So it goes at 60%. So let's see the critics and scores gave this one. Okay, not shocking. 100% with the audience. Fewer than 50. No critic consensus. So 60, 100. Chase Glock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Well, no thanks, Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I can watch this tape tomorrow, a week from now, a month, or a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. Enjoy yourself. And, like I said in my early action, just know what you have and enjoy what you have.